speaking of advertisement and companies doing, supporting capitalism and trying to appeal to everybody and it blowing up in their faces, Pepsi.
Yeah.
Came out with an advertisement starring one of the Kardashians. I don't think it was Kim.
Who fucking
Kendall
cares?
or Caitlyn or whatever.
Who fucking cares, Kardashian?
But it depicted a protest.
Yeah.
Okay? And had just ethnic diversity everywhere.
Yay.
Transgender people everywhere. Which is fine.
Yeah, of
Which
course.
is fine. And I've said it before,
How dare we treat people as if they exist?
Right. I've said it before. Why wouldn't you want to appeal to as broad of an audience as possible?
Yeah.
But like they were in a standoff with the cops, and it didn't really say what they were protesting,
Right.
but I'm just assuming that, in the climate of protest that we live in right now, we just had the Women's March. There's protests all the time against everything that anybody could be offended by. There's a protest against it, and there's a standoff with the cops. So I'm sure that's why they did it, because they're like, hey, let's appeal to the millennial SJW crowd, and then get them to drink Pepsi. That'll work.
Right.
No, it didn't, because if you know anything about SJWs, they're going to get offended regardless of what you do.
Yeah, pretty much.
So
we've
basically,
been talking about that quite a bit lately.
The Kardashian chick goes up and hands the cop a Pepsi, and he just starts drinking it, I guess, and that's the commercial.
That's the end.
But it's gotten a lot of heat because they're saying it's insensitive, in poor taste, but it started a lot of great memes.
Yeah.
Like I saw one this morning, and it was I think it's like fake history porn or something like that on Reddit, and it's like old school bulletproof vest, and it was like this sweater with the Pepsi logo on it, Or like someone should have just given Hitler a Pepsi, those kind of things.
There was one from the, do you remember that protest a couple years back where all the students were like sitting in a line and they were just being fucking sprayed with mace?
With mace.
Like, you should have seen the original one, and it was a fucking Pepsi.
Right, yeah, I saw
sprayed
that.
Him with.
It's, to me, that's something that doesn't really need to be made light of.
Yeah.
Protesting and demonstrating is a right that we have.
Yes.
Okay.
Very much so.
And the fact that
it's very important.
Yeah. And the fact that we live in a time where it seems to be happening more and more often, this just seems like a fucking dumb decision to kind of capitalize on these things.
Yep.
I remember right after 9/11 in Springfield, there was a computer company, a local computer company, that was advertising their business, and they were invoking 9/11 to get people to come in and get their computer checked for viruses and stuff. I called the company, and I was like, how dare you use this nation's tragedy and try to capitalize off of it? I was like, this is in such poor taste. I called him, and dude, I was like 22, 23, something like that. But even then, I could see right through it. I was like, you are just using this heinous attack on American soil to try and get more people, to instill fear in people that, oh, the terrorists are going to take over your computer. And this was back when the internet wasn't as widespread as it is now.
Right.
And I was just like, that's just such poor taste. And to me, that's kind of the same in Pepsi. But Pepsi has a long history of doing things like this. I saw a video of a very similar Pepsi commercial that came out in like India a couple of years back, where they were protesting something, and they were going on a hunger strike, and they were being interviewed by the media in India or wherever.
Right.
And one of the protesters sees like a bottle of Pepsi like hanging out of a pocket of someone's backpack, and he takes it and drinks it, and they're all like looking at him like, what the fuck, dude? And he's like, well, it's Pepsi, I drank it,
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Like that one is, I will say that one is significantly more tone deaf than this one.
But they came under fire for that, and then they kind of did it again almost. And do you remember when they almost killed Michael Jackson? Michael Jackson's hair caught on fire.
Yeah, I thought
while
that was
filming a Pepsi commercial.
Was it a Pepsi commercial? Yeah.
They almost killed the King of Pop.
Yeah.
And what was the other one? They the Pepsi Points thing, where they said you could buy a Harrier jet for like 7 million Pepsi points, and this dude like I guess you could buy so many points for like 10 cents, so he like sent them a check and was like, here's where bring me my Harrier.
My 7
and
million.
He ended up like suing them for false advertisement. I mean, that's just so fucking dumb. Why can't, here's the thing. You don't hear a lot about Coca-Cola and controversial ads, do you? Or am I just like
no.
rose-colored glasses? Because I don't recall.
I don't think that they do as many dumb ones.
And that's why Coke is better than Pepsi. Damn it.
I don't know. I still prefer the flavor of Diet Pepsi to Diet Coke.
Fucking blasphemer.
But Coke Zero is much better than Diet Pepsi.
Dude, I remember when New Coke came out. That was like their big gaffe. Was New Coke, and it didn't even last for very long.
No, because then they brought Coca-Cola Classic right back,
and now it's not even Coca-Cola Classic. It's just Coca-Cola.
It's just back to Coke now.
But I love the way Coca-Cola, man. Just like if you get like the non-diet kind, every once in a while I'll have one. You drink it out of a can, dude, and you just like take a big swig of it, and it just like burns your throat.
Right.
I love that. Maybe I'm a masochist.
Well, I mean, it's getting a little bit off topic, but I want to delve into this conversation because I was taking a dumb fucking time waster BuzzFeed quiz the other day, and one of the questions that it asked your opinion of was Coke in a can or Coke in a glass bottle. And I was like, fucking frosty glass bottle? Hells yeah, frosty glass bottle.
It's been a long time since I've had a Coke in a bottle. Like a glass bottle.
Right.
I don't know, but they all taste different. You can drink Coke out of a can or Pepsi out of a can, a glass bottle, or a plastic bottle. They're all going to taste different.
Yeah.
But I think my favorite is Coca-Cola out of a can. Every once in a while, if I go into a gas station or a supermarket and they have the glass bottles of like the Coke with the real sugar in it.
Right.
Every once in a while I'll buy those, but it tastes so foreign to me now that it's like, this is just weird.
Yeah.
You know? But isn't that such a weird thing that it's like, we make this with real sugar. Like that's an advertising.
Yeah.
It's like when you see a gas station advertise that they have clean bathrooms. We should never have gotten to that point that you have to like if you have bathrooms and they're open to the public, they should be kept them
fucking
to
clean.
Be clean.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have to be like, well, we have clean bathrooms, but the other guy,
those other guys, they can go fuck themselves.
Right. I remember I worked at a pizza place, and it was a locally owned pizza place, and the guy that owned it was delving into marketing and advertising, and I was like, just make a commercial where it's like he's not even in business anymore, but I'll say the name. It was Marco's Pizzeria in Springfield, Missouri, and I was like, how about Marco's Pizza, guaranteed to not give you AIDS? Our other,
honestly, it's genius. Because it signifies that you might get AIDS from other pizza places.
Our other competitors won't say the same thing. But then I realized I just stole that joke from a Mr. Show sketch.
Right.
Remember?
Yeah, I do.
But, it's funny. It's good. Funny.
No, it's great.
I think people should... I respond a lot better to ballsy, edgy advertising
sometimes. I mean, because sometimes they fall real flat.
Right.
But have you seen Hardee's new ad? Hardee's Carl's Jr.? It's got it because they have been getting a lot of shit over the last couple of years for having sexy women
I like
selling.
Sexy women.
Well, yeah, but their commercials are all incredibly stupid. It's just sexy women like sensuously licking burgers.
The Paris Hilton thing.
Yeah. So their new ad. And again, this is wildly off topic, but it is still related. Yeah, we're still talking about advertising. This new ad, it's in this giant office, and fucking Carl Hardy Jr. is this preppy, douchey millennial. He's just like fucking, we need more titties, bitch, and
what?
Did
he actually say that?
No, but that's the basic sentiment of it. And he's talking to all his fucking chody douche friends, and like, this is what we need to do for our advertising, all that shit. And then his father, Carl Hardy Sr., comes in and he's like, no, we're not going to do this anymore.
So it's very meta.
Yeah, it's a very meta ad, but like it's still incredibly stupid because it's painting the young douchey millennial as a young douchey millennial.
Right.
I don't know, maybe it's accurate though.
I don't know. It just advertising is just such a part of everyday life. There's apps that came on my phone, built in on my phone that I use that throw ads at me all the time, and 99% of the time I just dismiss them immediately without even looking at them.
Exactly.
So I mean, if there's an advertisement out there that gets me to look at it, then I'd say they did their job.
I mean, legitimately, every now
I mean,
and
we're
then,
talking about a Pepsi ad right now, but I'm not going to go buy a Pepsi. I'm a Coke fan, dude.
legitimately, every now and then, because I always try to, watch our videos on our YouTube channel, and occasionally there will be ads that play before them that I actually do want to watch, and so I will. Like, there was one, it was fucking Alan Arkin, Morgan Freeman, and shit, whatever the other guy from the new Morgan Freeman movie is, playing Never Have I Ever, and it was entertaining, so I watched that whole commercial.
Huh.
But I mean, that doesn't happen very often, but it does every now and then. I mean, YouTube advertising does still work.
It does. I went out when I saw the commercial for the Grand Mac at McDonald's.
Yeah.
The even bigger Big Mac.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm going to go get one of those for lunch.
No, I totally tried one.
It was right around the time I watched The Founder, too.
Nice.
I was like, man, I want to try me a Grand Mac now. I mean, I haven't had one
I was about to
since.
say, what did you think?
It's just a bigger Big Mac.
It's just a fucking bigger Big Mac. Exactly.
Big Mac. I'm just going to get fatter.
Yeah.
Fatter than I would after eating just a regular Big Mac.
Exactly. No, I had a Grand Mac because advertising works.
Yeah.
And I have not had another one.
Advertising works, folks. That's, I guess what we're trying to say.